the truth, it's time to reveal. Squatch-D take hits on your quest. Find a legend, put the rumors to rest. Squatch-D, they're on the case. Even Chris, no mystery, they can't face. What green hopes is expose your eyes. There's a chance for the Bigfoot mystery. Bring truth, science, and clarity. Squatch-D, they're the real deal. Uncovering the truth, it's time to reveal. Squatch-D, take hits on your quest. Find a legend, put the rumors to rest.
Welcome to Squatch-D, where the truth is first before all else. Join your hosts, veteran investigator, TV personality, and author Steve Kulls, and from the Kentucky Bigfoot Research Project and the Kentucky Fried Fixes channel, Chris Bennett. Sit back and prepare to take yourself on a journey with the longest-running Bigfoot podcast, Squatch-D. Here are your hosts, Steve and Chris.
And hello, everybody. Good evening, cyberspace. Welcome to our very first Friday Night Evidence Review Live. It's May 24th, 2024. I am your host, your guide, the Squatch Detective Steve Kulls, along with my co-host right down there, Mr. Chris Bennett. Hello, Chris.
Steve, good to see you, man. What a rough couple of days it's been, man. It's just been a roller coaster ride.
What a bunch of well, we'll get into it.
We've been having fun, though, haven't we?
We have, and just like the song says, there isn't anything. When you and I put our heads together,
it ain't over till the fat lady sings.
That's right. And I think by the end of the show tonight, so for everybody's there, you got to stick around till the end.
Stick around.
We got the bombshell coming at the very end of this.
It's coming. You don't want to miss this.
And
but a little bit, off to the side. Normally we don't talk about other cryptids. We really stick with Sasquatch and Bigfoot. But this Thylacine deal, that's something that's really near and dear to my heart. So, I don't mind talking about this every now and then.
No. And this is kind of unique because we're taking tools we use for the Bigfoot mystery, right, and now we're applying it to another cryptid. And for those who don't, let's do the roll call first.
Oh, yeah.
And but no, I think really it's going to be a very interesting drive. We may have a little smaller audience because I didn't advertise this to all the Bigfoot groups like I normally do because this is a non-Bigfoot topic, but
right,
still it's a chance of getting this out here, and eventually people will meander over and see it and probably watch it.
I noticed that I didn't get my notification from YouTube, and normally I get a notification when you do a list of show coming up. I don't know why that's happening.
Well, sometimes when you go live, it starts notifying people. So,
oh, okay. Well, I'll check on it later. If not, I'm going to ask them, hey, where was my notification, guys?
Yeah. Unreal.
I wonder.
All righty. So let's go do our quick roll call here.
Yeah. We got...
Relic Hominin dropped in, and boy, he's missing a good live show, but he'll catch the replay as always. And
we'll catch you on the
hope
replay.
Everything is okay across the pond. Of course, first in that's still here. He says, live from New York, it's Steve and Chris.
Walter.
And Grasshopper.
What?
Bristol, good to see you. Tennessee, Bristol? Cherokee, hello. Michael
Cherokee.
Williams, how are you, sir? Angel Nolan. Professor Kevin Harder in the house. Good to see you, sir.
Michael.
Smedley, do right. Do thylacines make good pets?
Wait a minute, I'm lost. Who said that?
Smedley,
Kevin?
do right.
Smedley, do right. Okay, Smedley, welcome.
Do thylacines make really good pets?
I don't know.
Does a Marine Corps drill instructor make a really good psychotherapist?
Oh, I'd love to have one. I'd love to have thylacine.
Bristol, if you haven't said Arthur Watch, good to see you, Arthur. Outback Orchard, hello. Good to see you as well.
Okay.
Jeff T. Smith, hello, Jeff T. Bruce Strachan, how are you, sir?
Bruce
Strachan, I'm sorry. I'm Daniel Weeks.
Jen.
Low Rider, good to see
Daniel?
you, sir. Jen, how
Hello.
are you over in Ohio? We'll be seeing you soon. Chance Lambert, good to see you, Chance. Hello, long time no see. Good to
Chance.
see you back.
Good to see you, man. Welcome back.
And there's Mike from Tactical Bigfoot Research.
Back. What's going on, Mike?
Actually, Tack and I had a little conversation about Tonight Show. Yes, last night. So,
Oh.
Daniel Weeks. We already said Outback Orchard. Blake Burrows, good to see you, Blake. Finding
Blake.
the Trackway. Bill, good to see you, sir.
Way. Welcome, Bill. Good to see
Helton, aka Faster Man, is also in the house.
you. Man.
And
I
that's
think
it.
more people will roll in here.
Yeah, it's slowly creeping up. So,
At least maybe they'll see our live link when it pops up. But,
yes.
Oh,
So,
still, welcome, everybody. It's good to see you. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. We appreciate you.
what a roller coaster the last 36 hours has been for me and
It
Chris.
really has, yes.
And you know why it's been a roller coaster?
Oh, I know, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I didn't follow my normal procedure. These photos came out, and I didn't really want to spend the hour watching the video. So I just started looking at the pictures, and I started looking at them more and more and more. And I'm like, so we'll get into this.
Right. Yeah. I caught these pictures, these photos online, and I was looking at the one with the mouth open. I was like, wow. Wait a minute. It's got to be. Yeah. It's got to be. It's
Right.
got to be.
Well, Chance, I think you're going to enjoy tonight's show. This is exactly what we're known for doing, is that we are able to go above and beyond sometimes with other people have not. And we'll explain that as we get going.
And it's a good opportunity to use some of those Bigfoot investigative tools on another cryptid. That's
Boy, did we ever, and we discovered something new. We have a new method of detecting AI without using AI.
Yep.
Imagine
Sorry,
that.
AI guys. It's not going to happen. Go ahead and make your AI Bigfoot stuff and send it out. We'll look at it.
So let's do this. So this all started when this gentleman by the name of Henry, and Henry is from Chicago. Let's remember that.
Not Henry May. Not
Henry May, but this guy named Henry contacted Forrest Galanti, the adventure biologist on Discovery Channel. You see every once in a while, popular YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And
he's the one that had the skull that was bad.
No, that wasn't Forrest Galante.
What, it wasn't Forrest?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
That was Coyote Peterson, I think.
Okay.
There's another guy, Coyote Peterson. Yeah, he has stuff bite him and stuff like that. That's not Forrest Galante. Forrest Galante is a biologist. He's a real deal guy.
Yeah, that one with the Gigantopithecus or the gorilla skull. I was like, I saw that and I was like, oh, they got me for a minute.
It didn't get me. I didn't even pay attention. I always let things marinate for a few days before I even get involved with it sometimes.
Well, it made me look at it, okay?
Yeah. I didn't even look at it. So anyway, now people are going to ask, how did I get this screenshot? Well, if you watch that interview, see, again, there's my investigative skill. All right. So I looked at all these photos and then I watched the interview and I pulled out my notepad and I'm right here. I don't need it, but here's all the notes I was taking.
Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden I noticed that for a brief second, he showed the message.
Yeah. I missed it.
Right. Yeah. It was only for like half a second.
Yeah.
So I got it. I got a screenshot of it. And that's going to play a very important role down the road.
Right.
But anyway, Henry is from Chicago. Emails Forrest Galanti, hey, I got this buddy of mine who went on vacation in Tasmania. And he got these amazing pictures of these thylacines and this thylacine. And he sends him several of the pictures. And there is some other stuff going on, but we'll talk more about that in a second. Yeah. So let's look at the thylacine. What is the thylacine first, in case people do not know? Because let's face it, I know our usual audience, you guys are up on it, but we have people that may not know what the hell a thylacine or a Tasmanian tiger is. And it was a carnivorous marsupial that lived in Tasmania, mainland Australia, and New Guinea. And, it had a distinctive dog-like like body, a stiff tail. Its tail was very stiff. It kind of had stripes on the back end of it like a tiger would. Thylacine was known for as the largest of the carnivorous marsupials of modern times. And it was believed to go extinct in the 20th century when the last one passed away in captivity. So that's very sad. There is some films of them available still. There's some pictures of them. And there's a great book. You got to read it. And we'll be talking about that in a little bit too.
Yeah. Humans were responsible for the extinction of this species.
Yep.
Definitely. They placed a bounty on them.
Yep.
In the early 20th century and basically hunted them to extinction.
And damn shame. Very beautiful creature.
Sure. Yeah. But, they probably preyed on the farmers' livestock.
Right.
I'm sure. I don't know if they raise sheep there or what they raise.
Well, they do have these very large, their jaws extend very big.
Right.
So anyway, let's take a look at the pictures. The first couple ones we got here, and I'm not going to get into some great detail on the pictures themselves. Right. Aside from we started to look at the pictures, and the shadowing all looks proper. Again, like we in the Vermont Trail Cam photo, we talk about the narrow leading edge shadow when something is on the ground, and as you can see, a very narrow. I'm pointing with my mouse, but you can't see that. But right under the arrow, you can see the very narrow leading edge shadow. The shadow is going in a consistent direction, right, where the focus is. When the thing is center focused, when it's off focused, the shadow, obviously there's a close picture. Now, here's the issue I have. Somebody said that he was using his zoom with the camera. Right. In one particular part, and we didn't cover that. We were going to be going over some of the audio portion of the interview, and we're going to do a forensic interview. And because the guy was covered up, we really couldn't do any neurolinguistics, but there are certain verbal indicators that we can pull out of that interview. Yes. And but the shadowing looks great here. It's in the same direction. But I'm looking at this and I'm going, that's not a photo from 15 feet away using zoom. Right. That's a close-up photo. Right. Because the shadow is so offset. Yep. And the closer you get something, the larger the shadow is created. So to me, it was like, that looks a little close. You wouldn't create that shadow when you're using a zoom.
Right. Well, when I first saw these, the photos, the one with the mouth open, I was like, no, this has got to be AI. It's got to be. And then you pointed out the facts about the shadow, and I saw the shadow.
Okay,
I'm like, oh
Chance,
my God.
Chance is saying no. That tiger right is Photoshop. No, it's not. Just hold on, folks.
Okay, Chance. I was excited too at this point. Yeah. Okay. I was excited. Okay. Right. And
right. The background is grass. It's a lawn. It's grass.
Yeah.
So anyway, the shadow is all consistent. So the next thing we did was we were going to put to the test the error level analysis test. Now, if this is a CGI, okay, but I wanted to know if maybe ELA would work with artificial intelligence, how it would work. Okay. Now,
ran a control group.
Yep. So we did a control group, and this is a real test, and you can see the ELA is done. And the only time, and this occurs sometimes, when you get a brightness along the very leading edge shadow, you will get like the good picture, a picture of the bourbon bottle. You'll see that little outline there. That's the only time you get that kind of
the iced tea bottle there.
That's bourbon.
Okay, well, Anyway, that picks up the ELA will pick up the texture of that bottle, and the bottom of that bottle is got little ridges.
Cajun Crawler says the metadata didn't match the story. It's a hoax, case closed. Wait till the end. Wait till the end.
Yeah.
God, you people are like children.
Just hang on.
It's a hoax. Dude, we've been on the air 17 minutes. This is an hour-long show. Wait till the friggin' end, will you?
Well, see,
Calm
yourselves. The thing about metadata.
Okay? We didn't need the metadata. We didn't need the metadata. And of course, Forrest exactly answered that question correctly too, because the metadata necessarily may not match if it's a picture off a screen or off a picture of a picture, and that will throw the metadata off.
Yeah.
So that would be a beautiful excuse, wouldn't it? But what we have today, we're going to have some rock solid end of story stuff today.
Steve can send me a picture.
Relax, watch the video.
Thing about metadata, Steve could send me a picture that's actually a real photo, and through my email or something, and I could save it 2 days later. And when I send that,
wait till the end, brother.
If I send that picture to somebody else, when they save it, the metadata is gonna have the date they saved it to. So it's not always.
This is going to be one of these shows that people are so friggin' impatient.
Hang on.
I'm going to just ignore the chat. Because when you have people jumping in saying it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that, we watch. Well, Cajun Crawler, relax, man. We're going to give you better evidence. How about that? Better than metadata evidence. Better than metadata evidence.
Better.
How about that? Better. Because I haven't seen you, Cajun Crawler. Welcome to the show. But I am the Squatch Detective. That is my trusty companion, Mr. Chris Bennett. And you were talking about metadata. I was the first person to bust a hoax on metadata back in 2005.
But you got to remember, though, metadata is first grade or elementary school level.
Right.
We're going up to.
So learn. So here's the error level analysis test on the control group of pictures we know are not manipulated or not AI. A couple of pictures of my COVID vacation pictures are on the top. When it was like every day I would post a picture of me doing something on my COVID layoff. We were all stuck inside. So picture number 1, picture number 2. And then the next couple of pictures, I figured I'd take a picture of my wonderful boy from those pictures are almost 10 years old because he turns 10 this year.
Right.
So that's my trusty office assistant.
But the ELA error level analysis test, if you check into that, and how I had to learn a lot about how to read this too. It'll show the textures and stuff and the differences in the textures.
As Chris knows, I've been using this for years.
Sure. Steve's been, he's taught me. So,
so here we go. Now we use the next control group on the ELA, and those are known AI photos. And guess what? They all failed. Every single one failed.
Yep.
And every single one failed.
While we were investigating this, Steve was doing this, and I was like, oh my God. I was excited. All right. This is why this has been a roller coaster ride.
So this is a real cool thing is that now I know these ELA tests will work to some extent with AI.
Yes. Yeah,
I mean, all these pictures are AI. I mean, boom. So that's a good thing. So we ran. Actually, Chance, go to Wikipedia. They have a picture with a thylacine that has its mouth open, and it's pretty wide.
Sure.
I'm not sure if it's wide as the one that we see in these pictures, but
it is.
So we ran the ELA test on the pictures, and they're showing no CGI nor AI. These are real pictures.
Look at that. Yeah. Real photos, folks.
Real photos.
Real photos. Yeah.
So I'm sitting there going, this is not what I expected. Not what I expected at all. So what does the Squatch Detective do? Now we start digging. because the damn ELA test passed on these pictures. So we know they're real pictures. But is it a real animal? So what we do is we go next. What do I always say? And this is not what I did, but I'm glad I did it because I wanted to test the ELA with potential AI.
Step number one.
What a great fun thing it would have been to say, hey, we used AI, an ELA test, to prove this was AI, or CGI, but we didn't. It didn't happen.
Right.
So now I have to go back to my old maxim.
Step
Any
one.
piece of evidence, photograph, video, audio, is only as good as the story behind it.
Right.
So right now, let's listen to some excerpts from the interview with this gentleman, Zach, who this guy, Henry, set up with Forrest to actually interview. Here it is. And we're going to stop and we're going to talk about it because now we're going to talk about forensic interviewing. And the beauty and interesting thing about this is going to be more about neurolinguistics than body language interpretation because the guy was all covered up. We really could not have any body language interpretation, but we can have some neurolinguistic interpretation, which is something we rarely have a chance to do on this program. So
Never
I'm really
talk
stoked about this. Right. So here we go. We're going to listen to this interview and there's going to be some things. I'm going to make some notes on as the video goes by. Just keep noticing.
Well, I am a wildlife guy. I'm just not a mammal guy.
Gotcha. All right. Well, that's pretty good.
Or turtles and snakes and stuff.
Oh, well, I like all those.
So story is,
Yeah.
I'm visiting Tasmania with my dad.
Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Step one. He starts off with, well, the story goes. Now, being an interviewer and interviewing thousands of people over the last 35 years, I've never heard a first-person witness ever say the story goes.
Right. He's not talking.
Starts out with, well, I blah, 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 blah.
Exactly. He's not talking. He's not talking about something that happened to somebody else.
The minute I heard that, the ears went.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, the story goes. Now we'll continue on. And now we also said something about the turtles. Remember the turtles, folks. Remember the turtles.
Turtles.
You know, because we have family down in Tasmania.
Yeah. Where does your family live?
Now
they
look
live in the area near the Stowport. That's what it's called. Upper Stowport, what it's called.
Okay, so it takes him 10 seconds to figure out where the hell he was in Tasmania. 10 seconds, and then he gets it wrong to begin with. Right?
Yeah.
So, what is it, Stowe Park or Stovepipe or whatever the hell it is? Oh, upper. Right? So he gets it wrong. And I know why. We know why, but we'll get to that.
Problem number 2.
Okay.
Sorry.
And it's my aunt's husband, right? My aunt, my dad's sister, and she married him. He is from Tasmania.
Okay.
And so
you're in Tasmania with your dad, right, on this trip. And this is a couple weeks ago?
Yes, this was April 12th through 18th.
Now, I don't know about you, but the way he's saying that, it's almost like he's saying it was April 12th to the 18th. Right? I'm doing an interview. I was there from April 12th to the 18th.
On the side of the road, there's a dog. It might have just been eating something. I don't know. Because there was blood. So either it got clipped by something or It was eating something.
Okay.
Okay, so look how long this guy took to put that out there. Now, it's very natural when you have somebody that's lying or building a story to be very slow, very disconjuncted. And he's not talking. He's it was eating, right? Because he's
The
trying
wheels
to
are turning. Yeah.
trying to keep the story straight. He's
Right.
he's trying to do all that.
So we get out. I've got my flashlight,
Yep.
my phone.
Okay, I got my flashlight, my phone, right? So there's a mistake.
On my phone. And my dad has like an actual flashlight,
Yeah.
a real one.
Yep. And it was like lying on the tarmac, or it was in the bushes?
It was half on the tarmac.
Okay. That makes sense.
That's why we were.
Which the pictures don't show that. Pictures showing it laying in grass.
Right.
And so we crossed the street, we got our flashlights.
Again, we got our flashlights. Not the phone, we got the flashlights.
So at first I got my flashlight out.
I got my flashlight out.
And then I got my camera out
And then I got my camera out. Well, I thought he was using his iPhone.
That's what I thought.
See
What
how,
he said.
and then he corrects himself.
my dad brings up the actual flashlight which was a lot brighter than the iPhone one.
Of course. Yeah. Of course.
Okay, so let's think about this. I mentioned this to Chris earlier. You're on a vacation for a week, and they are actually, again, this is an edited version. They're going to the airport from their relatives,
Right.
which coincidentally he called them. He didn't say my uncle. He said, "Well, my aunt's husband has a farm out there, a property out there, lives in Tasmania," which made no sense to me because why don't you just call him your uncle?
Yeah.
Just saying. But anyhow,
Well, that could be explained with family issues.
Yeah, small point. But let's think about this. You're driving from this thing by just you and your dad, and you're driving to the airport. Where'd the flashlight come from? Because you certainly didn't bring your car over from the United States.
No.
Right? Last I knew, well, maybe it's just something that they have flashlights in rentals, but why would his dad be carrying a flashlight when you're going to the friggin' airport to go home?
Right. But see, now that is part of the story that still we don't know. Was his dad living there and he went to visit his dad?
No, he said, as the story goes, you'll hear that when he gets asked about the flight, that him and his dad flew out there.
Okay, well, crap.
Yep.
Of course.
I thought it was a dog up until it opened its mouth.
Okay.
And it made the shriek sound.
Uh-huh.
Made this like shrieky, almost like a meow.
Can you mimic it? I mean, I'm trying to put you on the spot here, but can you do it? Like, what did it sound like?
like a
It's pretty good. Sounds pretty cool.
Now, again, the big thing is, according to this great book, The Last Tasmanian Tiger, written by Robert Paddle in 2020, said the observers of the animal in the wild and in captivity, said when it was alive, noted that it would growl and hiss when agitated. Right. And as far as the other kind of vocalizations, it would have a yip yop type of call, and sometimes it would have like a wailing call if it was trying to call over long distances, but it never had a meow like a fox would almost. So again, okay, I get your chance. It's got to be a possum. It's got to be a possum. Everything that is not a cryptid is a possum. Or a porcupine.
Porcupine. There you go.
Porcupine. It's a porcupine, not a possum.
It is a marsupial porcupine.
This audience is stuck on animals that begin with P. We've had the platypus. We've had the porcupine. Now the possum. And it all tastes like chicken.
And so I snapped a few pictures because I'm like, I don't know what this is. I'm going to send them to Henry because he knows.
Yeah.
Mammals and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm the turtle guy. And
Yes, again with the turtles. Remember the turtles, folks.
Yes. But pause it for a second, Steve.
Yeah.
The thing is, he said, I snapped a few pictures of it with his iPhone. In this day and age, who is going to be taking pictures? When you got your phone, you just push record and you're making video. You can get all the still caps from that video that you want. So
And there's a good reason for that. There's a good reason for that, too.
We find out. Yes.
We'll find out.
he thought it would belong to the people whose farm we were near.
And again, if you hear the entire interview, they're on this desolate road, haven't seen anybody for hours, right? But they're near a farm. But all of a sudden he mentions, well, he does a dog was near a farm. Again, when you make up stories on the fly sometimes and you go off script, if he had a script, which I'm sure he had a notepad there that he was looking at, that's why he was so covered up, right? Well, number one, he didn't want to be identified, and there's a good reason why.
Yeah. Number two, he didn't want his body language out because
correct.
He knew this video was being recorded. Right. This interview was being recorded.
Check its pouch and see if it's full of BS. Right on, Douglas.
Look at the pouch.
He's like, I bet hope he gets back safe because we weren't going to follow him.
Sure. Okay. And then, yeah, your dad couldn't join us today. You said you guys don't live together, right? And he didn't want to zoom in. Yeah.
Oh, another strike. The
other witness don't want to join.
The other witness don't want to come on. The one that can basically back up his story.
Right. We don't talk much. This trip was kind of like an outlier thing.
Gotcha.
Oh, we went to Darwin International.
Good excuse. Oh, we went to Darwin International. Here comes the mistake.
Okay.
I did in my notes.
That's in Darwin, right?
What?
That's in Darwin, not in Tasmania, though, right?
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course he's like, yeah, because he's lying. He doesn't know.
It's in Tasmania, I think, right? Or I might be thinking of a different one.
Oh, yeah. You're thinking of a different one.
So you flew where? You flew Minneapolis to where to where?
So we drove to Chicago.
Remember this, folks.
Where we took the flight there at JFK or whatever it is.
Okay, so if you listen to this very carefully, he says we took the flight there at JFK. Not to JFK. Mind you that, Chris. Not to J. He says at JFK.
Right.
The kid doesn't even know that the airport in Chicago is O'Hare Airport.
O'Hare, yeah.
Or Midway Airport, which is the other airport in Chicago. Yeah. There's
but
two
if you're
airports.
Going to Chicago, you're going to go in the big boy usually. Yeah.
No, I every time I flew into Chicago, I flew, with the exception of once, I flew in the Midway. I've always flown the Midway.
You must have been flying on the smaller planes, like.
It depends on who the carrier is.
Yeah.
Right. Oh my God! No, I didn't get tricked and made this into a show. Shut up, Chance.
Hang on, Chance. Just hang on. I bet you, Chance, are you the type of guy that buys a brand new mystery novel and first thing you do is open it up and read the last 3 pages? You can't do that.
I wonder how it ends before, in case I.
You got it. You got to start at the beginning, bud, and work your way through. That's how.
Okay, here we go.
Work. Go ahead.
Flew to Australia.
Yep.
And that was pretty much it.
So there wasn't a connector, so you went straight from JFK to Tasmania? I mean, you might have. I just don't know that flight path.
There wasn't a connection, no.
Gotcha.
It was a pretty straightforward trip.
Gotcha. Okay.
Which is why Dad will not do anything with a layover.
Gotcha. So it's you just went New York to Tasmania.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Because Darwin International Airport's in Darwin, which is in mainland Australia. Are you thinking of maybe Hobart?
Yes, Hobart.
Okay, gotcha. That's
Okay, so there we have it. Now, again, the father didn't want any layovers. Okay, so that's why he said, we drove to Chicago at JFK. They never took a flight to JFK. I think Forrest completely lost that. This kid didn't know his geography. The kid probably really is from Minneapolis, and he has no idea what airport is in Chicago or whatever.
Right.
And he's one of those, right?
He's a gamer.
And his father, doesn't like layovers, so they flew directly from Chicago to but even so, there are no direct flights from Chicago to Hobart. There are no direct flights to Chicago to anywhere in Australia. There are no direct flights to anywhere in Australia from JFK either. They have layovers.
You do have a connecting flight somewhere else, right?
Yeah. Right.
And how many people, just out of curiosity, how many people in the chat room have ever flown in a plane and you're on a vacation somewhere and you don't know what airport you stopped at? Anybody?
Right.
No. I know exactly what airports because I'm panicked. Like, oh God, I got to find gate so-and-so, gate 53. Where's it at? Oh my God. That's half an hour walk down that way. Well, you got 15
the kid eventually figured out where he was staying.
Yeah. Yeah. But he ended up, going to Australia, and then it was about, not only that, he was about 2,000 miles away from his destination. So what did they do? Swim? But when they rode thylacines across the ocean, and they got to Tasmania. That's probably what it was.
Right. So now we're done. Let's get back to the.
So I'm sorry, guys. I mean, we're being kind of a little rude about his story here, but it just don't add up. That's the
right.
Thing. That's what we're getting at.
Right. So now we know the story's bold. And there was a guy by the name of Red Wing, has a YouTube channel, does a lot of gaming stuff. But he is from Tasmania. And he did a video and he pointed out this guy by the name of Archisuchus,
yes,
who had been apparently building these models of thylacines, and his artwork is really extensive. It seems like it's the only thing he does. He's got quite a following on Twitter, and he makes these animals and sometimes these fantasy animals and whatnot. And for the last several months, he's been talking about the thylacine. Right. And when somebody pointed out that this guy, God, he's making all these models and yada, yada, yada. And it just coincidentally, he posted pictures of the thylacine a day Forrest cut his interview. And my goodness. But Archisuchus says, it's not me. I didn't do this. Says, this isn't my art. The timing is coincidence. And it's not me in the vid. I don't believe in Forrest after the Jawbone incident either. Right. So now he's getting a little snippy. No. And then, again, and then he posts like the next day, oh my God, look at this. He's kind of taunting people. And then he says, I'm 80% sure they basically, ripped his doll images somehow. Right. And then he continues to taunt. Yeah. Do I do it better than Forrest? And then he, put his pictures out there again, trying to taunt Forrest Galante a bit.
Right.
Well, here's the thing. Look at those models that he has there on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, and Chance, I thought that was a bit kind of weird myself, not my art. Right. Instead of saying, hey, I did not do this. Right. That's not my art. Right. But yet here are some production pictures of him working on his thylacine model. And he actually made a posable one where he can pose the joints and turn them
Yes.
around and lay them down. And he is not my fart either.
Yes. Oh, man.
Hey, if you hear anything funny, I'm going to blame the office assistant.
Oh.
Anyway,
Watson looking good with his new haircut.
yeah, he's got the summer dew.
Yeah, yeah.
He's got the fresh cut. Right, buddy? He isn't. Anyway,
So isn't it odd? This guy comes out, Arcasuchus, and says, "Oh, it's not my art. It's not my art. It's not mine."
People were pointing fingers at him. The people in the Thylacine community were pointing fingers at him.
Right.
Rightfully so. Right?
Sure. Yeah.
Right. So, but the guy's artwork is pretty incredible. If you look at his website, it's very good.
Amazing. Sure.
But and when you use it for the wrong freaking reasons, and people are saying, well, Steve, he's denying he is the one. How do you know? Well, let's take a look at some things. And this is why we're going to get back. This is something the Thylacine community has not figured out yet, but we have, because we do what we do. And that's not a knock on them. They did a great job finding this guy. At first, I was like excited, like, oh, this could be real. These pictures look real. And then somebody said, and then I listened to the story. I didn't follow my own recipe. Listen to the story first.
Right.
It was a slow morning for me. I'm tired. What the hell can I say?
Well, okay, we got a hold of the photos, and we're looking at them, and I'm thinking, first thing,
don't blame me because my name is Art.
the first thing I'm thinking is, okay, this is probably AI.
Right.
So we just start running through the checks and stuff. And we're like, it's not.
Not AI.
It's
not manipulated. The shadowing looks good. These
maybe
like
it's
real.
CGI. You start running the check. It's not CGI, and you're like,
but then I heard the story, and I'm like, oh my.
Yeah.
All right, so let's remember the references to turtles. And there's pictures of Arcasuchus's turtles. They post quite a bit on the turtle, lots of pictures and stuff like that.
He's a turtle guy. Now, remember Henry, the guy from Chicago that had the friend in Minneapolis that had the Thylacine photos? Well, turns out Arcasuchus is from Chicago or the Chicago area. Wow.
Strike two. But here's where it comes really interesting. That's right. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I am Donatello. This is my buddy Raphael. All right. But the clincher is this.
Here we go.
Because I got that screen crap. Not screen crap. Well, screen crap too.
That's pretty accurate. Screen crap. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give myself that. All right. If you look at the icon on Henry's message, this is the picture of Arcasuchus's dog. It is the same dog that is on Henry's message.
Yes.
So we know Henry is Arcasuchus.
Yes.
So therefore it is his work, and there is no getting around that.
And if you'll notice
getting around it.
The night photo of Henry's and Arcasuchus dog there, when you look around that, can you imagine, have you seen a background similar to that before?
Yep. And Chris sent me that picture over today because I was, we were both data mining.
Yeah.
And we're like, Chris sent me over, hey, I got a picture of the dog. And oh my Lord, look at that. So we know that despite this guy's denials, as as damning as it was having those models, here is the evidence that, and good Lord, I'm glad I had that eye to catch that screen cap, right?
Yeah, I missed it. I did.
And that's the reason why I think a lot of the other communities haven't really picked up on that. But here it is. This is the clincher. This is why we know that this is Archasuchus's work.
Right.
Apparently, these are real photos of a real puppet.
Mhm.
Exactly. That's why they passed the ELA. That's why they didn't have
Yes.
CGI on them, because they were
Yes.
real photos. They were
Right.
just not photos of the real creature. They were
Right.
photos of this creation this guy has done. And coincidentally, back in September of 2023, he wrote this wild story about the big bird man in Chicago, yada yada yada. And some cryptid teams picked up on it, and they realized that, oh my God, and they figured out that it was a hoax because of this Archasuchus guy. Right. Here we are 9 months later. Now he's doing this with the Thylacine in a much more flagrant way of doing this. And I think the person who was being interviewed was probably from Minneapolis, was probably an internet friend of Archasuchus, or maybe he's just a friend nearby. Maybe they're together. And what he was doing was following a script, or perhaps he had Archasuchus listening to the call, and Archasuchus, and this is more true to the story, Archasuchus might have been sending him texts to answer the questions,
Right.
which may have explained the gaps in his answers.
Well, there is one thing, though, that kind of ties them together. Both of them are turtle guys.
Right.
So that was but the only thing is we don't have a photo and we don't have a likeness.
That may be part of the script, the tee behind him. If he asks you if you know about animals, say no, you're a turtle guy.
Right.
Right. So we don't know. We don't know anything about this other guy's background. The only one we know a little bit about the background is Archasuchus, and he is this phenomenal model maker of
amazing. You got to give it to him. Good
right.
work.
Right.
Not necessarily a good use of it, but it was good work.
Well, here's the thing. I definitely invited him on tonight's show. I have not heard from him. I did send him a message via Twitter, and he did not answer, because that seems to be his main platform, or X, if you want to, if you will. Right. And so this is the bottom line. Forever now, we can put to rest. We know who this is. I mean, that is definitely the dog, and it's Henry's icon, and not a very well thought out hoax, is it?
It's the little things, the little things that they miss a lot of times. That'll give them away.
Exactly. It's like having a flashlight in a car going back to airport on vacation,
right.
Makes no sense.
I've had rental cars before, and I never saw a flashlight in any of them.
Nowadays, I've never even seen a GPS in them, to tell you the truth. But.
And, one of the things that got me, but, he was using his iPhone, admittedly. He used the iPhone, and he was using the flashlight, apparently, on the iPhone. And when he used this to snap pictures, you would not have done that. You would have punched video, and you would have got video of it.
Right.
But why is he going to take pictures of a dog on the side of the road in the first place?
Right.
I thought it was the dog, so it had been hit, so I'm taking pictures of it. No.
And so that is the story on that. So that is the crux. I'm glad we got it done in the time frame we did.
Yeah. But like I said, though, the last day and a half or so has been a roller coaster ride of highs and lows.
And again, hats off to the folks in the Thylacine community.
Sure.
That pointed us to Archasuchus.
Right.
I was just glad that I could follow through, and they put the runners on the base, and I brought them home with proving that it was Archasuchus by this very screen cap, and by getting the dog pics up and saying, "Hey, how come Henry's screen cap is the same thing as Archasuchus's dog?"
Right.
Because Henry is Archasuchus. Think about it. He's from Chicago. Archasuchus is from Chicago.
Yes. Right.
All makes sense.
And it gets you could go a little further if you want to get it. This is already done. Okay. This is the end of it. But if you had wanted to go another route by matching the Thylacine stripes on the model that Archasuchus built to the stripes on the photographed Thylacine, you'll find those to be an exact match as well.
Chance, I don't know I know what you mean. We all fell for this mess.
No,
But that we started researching it and just blowing it off. No, this is what we do. This is what we need to do as investigators.
right.
Right? This puts it to rest. It doesn't leave it to come back in 5 or 10 years.
No, the only times that I was getting excited was when the first thing I thought was obviously AI. And then when it passed that it's not AI, we thought, well, okay, then it's obviously CGI. And when it passed that it's not CGI, that's when I started getting a little excited. And, because the only other choice you've got is, okay, you've got a real photo, so that whatever is shown in that photo is actually a real thing.
There is something. Let me explain something. A lot of people, yes, I like to do the analysis second after looking at the story. For whatever reason, I did it the opposite way around. But the thing is we did not run with the story saying that this is real because of X, Y, and Z without looking at the story, which is what a lot of friggin' people do. Mississippi skunk ape, the Independence Day footage, all of that stuff. So you got to look at the story, both sides of the story.
Yeah.
That's right. It was Colonel Mustard in the study with the stuffed platypus.
So while you're investigating something, there may be times where you get excited, and this was one of those times. But as you can't say, okay, well that means we stop right now. No, you've got to keep on and look into it deeper.
Yep, the Thylacine community was on it, and we did not publicly fall for it.
No.
But what we could say, but there were a lot of people saying it was CGI, it was AI, and it wasn't.
No.
And that's what I did was when people started saying that, and if I was thinking, let me run it through these tests. Oh my God, it's not. It's not. They were doing it based on just looking at it, going, that's got to be AI. And that's something we don't want to do as a Bigfoot community.
Because you figure 99.9% of the times, if you get a photo that looks too good to be true, it's going to be something created on a computer.
Right. My point is that we need to be objective on everything. We, just because somebody points at something and says it's AI, well, we got to run it through its tests. We got to run it through the background. We got to run it through all of that. And that's what we do on the evidence review show. What would you like? And this is a big story. So we figured out this story gained some traction. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, it's a subject that's it's near to my heart too, because I have a special consideration for animals that we have actually made go extinct.
Right, and I don't think anybody fell for it. I think once they heard, they heard the story, they watched the video, and they heard that kid talk, they're like, this is not right.
Right.
And they started looking at it from a boots on the ground aspect, which is great too.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And then they were like, well, there's this guy that's making these models, but he's denying it. Well, you're right, Bob. The one thing that we did notice too, that there was no blurring in it. Like if a thing ran or moved, there was no blurring. But he did send it, but I didn't show the blurry pictures. He did send Forrest several pictures that were blurry, and I think he was purposely blurring them to like show motion and stuff like that.
Yes. Yes, that was a movement.
You know what, folks? Again, this may seem obvious to you, but and thank you, Bruce. I appreciate that as well. It's a journey, and my whole goal here on Evidence Review Nights is how we get from point A to point B. And what we did is we did something tonight that nobody's done yet, and that's tie directly, beyond any doubt, Archisuchus to that Henry account.
Right.
Right. And I know the Henry's last name, and I don't even know if maybe that's really him. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's
I
a
don't
sock
know.
account. Don't
Yeah,
know.
we're not going to do that though.
No, we're not
Yeah.
digging any further.
No,
It's
no.
over with.
Right.
But this guy wants to deny it. Let him deny it, because we know the truth. The truth is he did it. End of story.
I mean, yeah, he can deny it, but it's undeniable. It's over.
Right.
Stick a fork in it. It's done.
Remember, when you do something, and if you look at protagonist and antagonist, as the protagonist, when I see a hoax, I'm out to destroy that hoax beyond any doubt, anybody. And that's what we do. Just because people are saying, well, this guy was making models and, well, he's got a tie to Chicago. Nobody picked up on the turtle references, and nobody picked up on the dog. So.
Good
you're right.
tackle tactician.
Yeah, Chance, you got to prove a false claim. You got to prove everything. You got to prove it's a hoax. You have to prove it's real. And sometimes we all know proving it's real is a lot harder than proving a hoax.
Yeah. Now, I would have loved to be able to bring everybody the news tonight, and Steve would have loved it too, that this thing is real. That would have been wonderful. I would have been excited. But as it turns out, no.
And when I heard the story, and Forrest did a great interview.
Sure did.
He picked up on a lot of things. He didn't make a mistake. The one mistake was giving him the Hobart name.
Well, I don't want to sound critical of Forrest.
No.
He was not doing a forensic interview, Steve.
No, absolutely not. No. And when you talk to somebody like that, you need to do a forensic interview. Something is that you need to do a forensic interview, and you need to learn that. And part of the first process of learning that is by understanding the psychology of people that make claims, whether it be real, whether it be not real, whether it be a hoax, whether it be a misidentification. You got to understand the psychology of that. And that's why I'm announcing that in just 1 week's time on Amazon.com will be The Psychology of Bigfoot, my new book number 4, coming out. Manuscript was uploaded today. It's processing. It's off on May 31st. But anyway, that's the show for tonight, folks.
Yeah.
But I want to thank everybody for coming in here. And, like I said, it's not a Bigfoot hoax, so it's kind of a fun little...
the cryptid detective. God, Ninja. Oh. The cryptid detective. Oh, well, this is kind of a little bit off to the side of our normal view that we look.
Well, Chance, I know you haven't been around, but I've been kind of fighting an injury, and I'm getting better every day.
Yeah, Steve got ran over by a semi truck twice. Once wasn't good enough; they had to get him twice,
and it still didn't kill me.
Did we get him? No, back up again. Finish the job.
Damn it, we still didn't get him.
He's still kicking. Run over him again. Oh man, it's terrible. I'm sorry, Steve. I shouldn't joke about that, but just hang in there, bud.
So I love that. Cajun Crawler asked me, where did I get my psychology degree? Well, let me explain something to you, Mr. Cajun Crawler. I appreciate that question because I answered that in the introduction to the psychology of Bigfoot. And that is, I am a trained forensic interviewer. Since 1994, I've been conducting forensic interviews. I've interviewed over 2,000 criminals, over 1,000 witnesses since 1988. And part of the forensic interviewing process is learning psychology, motivations, norms, body language, behaviors, what causes people to say what and why and how, all of that. I've also taken neurolinguistics courses. So we explore psychology together. And being in this for 25 years, I have encountered hundreds of Bigfoot witnesses, real not real in otherwise. So take it for what it's worth.
Oh, yeah. Well, we better get out of here, Steve. Again, thanks, everybody, for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. And we're going to do a show Sunday, Steve. Steve.
What's that?
We're going to do a show Sunday.
We
Squatch
sure
TV
are.
regular show. Okay. 9 p.m. Eastern, Sunday night.
Oh, hang on. Chance asked me, tell me got hurt. Yeah, I have. Chance asked if I got hurt. Yeah, I have 4 bulge discs. 3 of them are in contact with my spinal column, all in my cervical area. So got my first shots. Yeah. I got my first round of shots a couple of weeks ago, and they're starting to feel. I'm starting to feel a little bit better, but they wear off. But I'll be getting another series of shots next month. Ablation shots, chemical ablations. See if they work, and if they work, then they're going to go with the real deal ablations. So that's the story there. So that's why I haven't really as active in May, because. You know, between chiropractor, physical therapy, going to, I got an orthopedist appointment now. I've been going to pain management. It's been a lot of fun, but I'm able to walk. I'm able to do my stuff. But anyway, everybody, we will catch everybody on Sunday night. And everybody, I hope you're enjoying. Yes, and I need my rabies and distemper shot.
Have a good Memorial Day weekend, everybody.
Have a good Memorial Day weekend. We'll see you Sunday night. We'll catch you all later.
We thank you for being here with us on Squatch-D TV. If you haven't taken the time yet, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. And oh yes, hit that notification bell too. We don't want you to miss anything. If you really like our content, you should consider becoming a member, and it's really inexpensive and a great way to support not only the show, but honest Bigfoot research. Everyone have a great week. Be safe and God bless. We will see you all here next time on Squatch-D TV. Keep on squatching.